It's another trading session, and we're seeing new record highs for the major averages. Believe it or not, the Dow Industrials topped 23,450 today. So joining me now is Alan Valdes of SilverBear Capital, and he'll tell us about the latest earnings. Alan, great to have you here today.
You know, I just got, for true transparency, I made a mistake about 2 months ago. I write a report for a couple other news channels, and I predicted that the Dow would get to 25,000 by Christmas. Could get there by Thanksgiving. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, here we are. You know, we still don't even have the tax cuts down permanently, and it's just earnings are so strong. You look at 3M today. I mean, Caterpillar, they're just roaring here, the market. And I don't see anything that's going to really stop this momentum unless you do get the tax cuts, and then maybe they sell on the news. So I could see by the end of the year, we get to, 24,000 easy, and these guys might say, okay, if the tax cuts are for real, let's just take a little money off the table. So you could see a mini correction there, but nothing that's really going to change the overall direction of this market going forward over the next 2 years probably.
And Alan, it's hard to believe, but this morning when we saw futures prices, we were expecting record levels yet again for the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P 500. But all of the earnings reports aren't necessarily positive. And earlier, Goldman Sachs issued their forecast for global growth this year. And for the U.S., it wasn't as positive for the rest of the globe. So where do you see downside coming from?
Well, again, I don't really see much of a downside. I think, the only possible downside is if we get a new Fed head, we'll have to see maybe this week, and they really want to do that shrinking of the balance sheet, which I'll never really understand why they don't just push it out. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything, and there's no inflation. There's no wage inflation. I mean, I bought a cup of coffee this morning with the same price I paid 3 years ago. So there's no real inflation I see anywhere. I just don't get it. We've never been successful in shrinking the balance sheet without the market coming in. So that's probably the only real possible downside I see. So I think overall, the market could be in for a great run here.
And two questions for you, Alan. I'm interested about where you get coffee since you said that prices haven't gone up. And also for the tax reform package, what is your time horizon for that?
Well, I go to Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, if I go to Starbucks, it's like I have to give all my bucks, But Dunkin' Donuts, the price have held steady. Actually, even come down if you buy like I don't know if they call it a Happy Meal or what, but if you buy a few items and they package it, the price is actually down from 2 years ago, But at the tax cuts, I think if they pass it this year, 2017, you could see it implemented early 2018 after it works its way through the Senate. I mean, passing that budget was a good sign. So I think if they can get that through, you could see it by the spring.
Okay, Alan, well, we're here in New York City, and thunderstorms are forecast for this afternoon. So hopefully for tax reform, we don't see too many storms up ahead. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Get some coffee and donuts later.